All right, let's geek out for a moment and let's talk about these new Pebble watches. I mean, I know I did a live stream today and I did talk about them in the live stream, but let's just completely focus on the Pebble Core Duo 2 and the Pebble Core Time 2. The two new watches that Pebble is releasing. And so, a quick spiel. We're not going to go down Pebble history, but I just kind of like want to bring that in there so people kind of understand like why this is such a huge thing, especially for the nerds that are geeking out over this thing. And I'm pointing to the screen like you guys can see it. I haven't even done screen share yet. But anyways, so Pebble is the pioneer of smartwatches. They had an idea. They wanted to make a smartwatch paired with your smartphone, and it was to deliver you notifications and do other quick features that you may want, so that you don't always have to pull out your smartphone. And if you know the history, you know the history. If you don't, maybe I'll make a separate video as to why Pebble failed and why their resurrection is such a big thing in the world of tech. But uh Pebble was acquired by Fitbit. Fitbit wanted Pebble's technology, so they acquired them because Pebble was going down. And you guys know that Fitbit, later was acquired by Google. So when Google made the Pebble OS open source, the team of Pebble decided to get back together, and they were like, "Hey, you know what? Let's do this right." Now that they had time to mature, because the first Pebble watch was like what 2016 that it came out, and then after that, the Pebble Time 2 came after, and the Pebble Round, and then the Pebble 2 came out, and that was it. Finito, they were done. So they've had some time to mature. So with that being said, I want to talk about the watches, and yes, I'm playing devil's advocate in here, so bear with me. If you're a Pebble fan, don't crucify me. I'm just speaking the real, okay? So let's go to this article by Droid Life. You guys can check out Droid Life and read the article on it. But these are the two watches that I'm talking about. The black one being the Pebble Core Time 2, and then the white one being the Pebble Core Duo 2, or the 2 Duo. Now, the white one is really a nostalgic throwback because it goes back to the very original Pebble. Okay, so the body design to me looks exactly like the Pebble 2 and not the Pebble 1, but it has the black and white e-ink paper display. And that's one of the things that Pebble was very well known for, was having that display, which allowed their watches to have very long battery life compared to OLED displays or LCD displays. And then you got the Pebble Core Type 2, which also looks like the Pebble 2 rather than the Pebble Time, but I'm assuming it's just more beefed up, and obviously this is going to be the one that has touchscreen, because that's one of the things that they announced, was that their more expensive model was going to be touch display, which is the first time in Pebble history. So a lot of Pebble fans that loved Pebble watches way back in the day, that were like, "Oh my God, this thing would be so cool if it had touchscreen." Now you're getting your wish. It's having touchscreen, but it's only on the more expensive model. Okay, so the base model is not touchscreen. It keeps that Pebble nostalgic feel, right? With the four buttons, and that's what you use to control the display. You get the four buttons on the Core Time 2, but it also has touch display as well to interact with. So Droid Life got a hold of the specifications. I'll run through them real quickly. So the Core 2 Duo, you got a 1.26-inch display. It's black and white, 144 by 168 pixels at 176 DPI. Four buttons to interact with. It's polycarbonate, so it's plastic. You got a release date coming in July. Price tag about $149. It's got a mic and speaker, backlit, so it's got backlights, so you can see the display in the dark. Battery life, they claim 30 days of battery life. It's got the standard Pebble charger, so the two-prong magnetic chargers that it comes with in previous ones. IPX8 water resistant. It's got step and sleep tracking, and the watch band size is 2 millimeters. I'm sorry, 22 millimeters. So when you jump over to the Core Time 2, you got a 1.5-inch display, 64 color display actually, 200 by 228 pixels with a 202 DPI, four buttons to interact with as well as touchscreen. It is a metal body build, not polycarbonate. It's slated for a December release. Price tag of $225. Mic and speaker included, backlit included, and it's estimated 30 days of battery life, and then of course they're going to change the battery life on this one because it's touch display, so however much you fiddle with it, you can drain the battery faster and you won't get exactly 30 days. Standard Pebble charger comes with it, IPX8 water resistant. You got a heart rate monitor, a step counter, and sleep tracking, also a 22 millimeter band for the watch. So everything seems to be looking pretty good about it. It looks like that they're also beefing up Pebble OS. So they're going to make some changes to Pebble OS and probably implement some things and maybe do like different designs for the user interface. And that's going to be pretty cool to see. Going back up to these things here, like you got this dotted watch face right here. That's actually pretty cool. And then, you have this watch face right here, which seems to be blank. I guess you'll have like, your time and your step counter and all kinds of other stuff, information on that display. And so one of the big questions that people are going to ask is the Pebble Store, going to be revamped, and are they going to have, at-home developers create apps that are compatible with Pebble OS and in order to allow this thing to do more than what it's normally able to do outside of the box when it's taken out of the box. And that'd be very interesting to see, but I'm going to go on a whim and say that, yeah, I think they're going to kind of like, rely on the community to continue developing, right? The community known as Rebel maintained the life of Pebble watches for Pebble customers for such a long time since they shut down. So big shout out to the Rebel team. I see them pretty much being a part of this project, or at least being, third party attached to this project. So that's pretty solid for them. Now, while the Pebble watches bring back a nostalgic feel, right? Because I'm nerding out just seeing these things and being like, I'm probably going to grab one and just review for you guys. But to be quite honest, it's a different market today than what it was when smartwatches first started out. Okay, so like to be honest with everybody, when smartwatches first started out, you have Pebble, and then Apple came with a smartwatch, Samsung came with a smartwatch, and so did Google and Pixel. And so now they're here to stay. But then you also have like designer watches that are smartwatches that run Wear OS. You got Fossil that does it. It wouldn't surprise me if, the G-Shock watches were running Wear OS. So there's a lot of options in the game now than what there was back then. So, while Pebble is the king of smartwatches, they are the pioneers of smartwatches. I know they're putting back on the gloves to step in the realm with the other smartwatches out there, but it's a very different market today than what it was back then. So we have to keep that in mind. And on top of that, there are other options out there that literally were pushing to kind of fill that void that Pebble left behind when they went poof and disappeared and became part of Fitbit, right? I forgot the name of the smartwatch that it was. Oh, TicWatch. The TicWatch was one of the first ones. You got very long battery life with it, and it was touch display and color display, and it was things that people wanted the Pebble watch to be. Tic was able to bring that with their smartwatches, and other watches started to come down the pike. You got Xiaomi watches, you got, there's so many different smartwatches out there and they do pretty good. And it's like, nowadays, for Pebble to kind of step back in it, it's like watching Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. Not that it's rigged, but that you're watching a legend step back into the limelight again, right? We're going to see people buy this watch. Most people who were like major fans of the Pebble watch are definitely going to pick this up. And, people who are interested in retro tech are going to look at this thing and be like, oh, cool, let me grab one and see how it is. And trust me, if you grab a Pebble watch, you're going to have a great experience. I'll tell you that much right now. But the problem with all this is that, like I said, you have other watches that are going to give it a run for its money. My CMF Watch Pro and my CMF Watch Pro 2 pretty much, are in the near same lane as the Pebble watches were, right? They're all about giving you notifications. You got some light, subtle stuff to be able to do. You can't, bloat it up with a Facebook app, an X app, an Instagram app, right? It'll give you notifications from those apps on your phone, but you don't have them natively installed in your watch. So pretty much, like what Pebble had already had from the get-go. And the thing is, $149 for, the Core 2 Duo and $225 for the Core Time 2. And my CMF Watch Pro, brand new, $69. Now that it is older, you can find them brand new in the box sealed for like $40 or $39. My CMF Watch Pro 2, $69 brand new. And since it's been out for a little bit of time, I've seen some reduced pricing down to $55. So that's way lower than what Pebble's going to be asking for these two watches. And I know why they're asking these prices, $149 for the Duo 2 and $225 for the Time 2. The reason that they're asking for these prices obviously is because they are looking to stay in it for the long haul. So they're trying to acquire some cash so they have the money that they need, because they've learned from the first time when they were relying on Kickstarter way too much to try to get their devices out. You make the money, you take that you reinvest it back in your business, and you come out with more product. And so it does look like that they're looking at things through the right glass, but now we got to see how this is all going to play out. But when you have watches like the CMF Watch Pro and the Pro 2 and other watches out there that can do almost exactly, what the Pebble experience would be at a lower cost, kind of makes this a very steep uphill battle for Pebble. And so my question to you guys for ending this video is, do you think Pebble is going to make it? Sound off in the comments. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, concerns, emotional outbursts. Smash the like button for, helping me out. Get this video circulated so more people can find it. Thanks for checking it out. I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a good night. Allah.